Education. Noun. 1. Uncountable. Singular. A process of teaching, training, and learning, especially in schools or colleges, to improve knowledge and develop skills. Primary, elementary education. Secondary education. Further, higher, post-secondary education. Students in full-time education. Adult education classes. A college, university education. The state education system. A man of little education. She completed her formal education in 1995. See related entries: teaching and learning. 2. Uncountable, singular, a particular kind of teaching or training. Health education, an alcohol education program, to warn of the dangers of alcohol. Patient education is important to minimize the risk of a second heart attack. 3. Also, education, uncountable, the institutions or people involved in teaching and training. The Education Department, the Department of Health, Education, and Welfare. There should be closer links between education and industry. 4. Usually, education, uncountable, the subject of study that deals with how to teach. A college of education, a Bachelor of Education degree. She's an education major. 5. Singular, often humorous, an interesting experience that teaches you something. The rock concert was quite an education for my parents. Extra examples. 41% had some post-secondary education. Although he had had little formal education, he could read and write well. He received a classical education. He was at a disadvantage because of the poor education he had received. He went to America to complete his education. He'd received an excellent general education in Poland. How well a child does at school is influenced by the level of parental education. Many people lack the education and training that is needed for these jobs. Nigeria committed itself to universal primary education. No one is denied an education because they are poor in this country. Researchers have found that single-sex education may benefit girls. She brought up 2 children while pursuing a college education. She went to college to continue her education. Technology allows distance education to occur at all levels. The Council has launched a new health education campaign. The project seeks to improve education for students. The school provides an excellent all-round education. There are additional education requirements for nurses on this course. They set up an account to fund their daughter's education. They want to broaden their research and education activities. We acquire much of our world knowledge through education. We need to invest in the higher education sector. A college of further education. A policy that has been adopted by the entire education community. Adult education courses. Children in early education settings. Education about danger on the roads. Efforts to improve education standards. Funds provided by the local education authority. Parents who choose private education for their children. Students entering higher education. The party's policy on comprehensive education. Young people who are just leaving full-time education. Education about HIV and other preventable diseases needs to improve. Elementary education is excellent in this area. Every child in the country needs to be provided with a first-class education. He had little formal education. In those days, it was very difficult for poorer people to get a university education. It is only through education that prejudice could be overcome. Only about 40% of girls in the poorer areas of the country have access to primary education. Parents are beginning to wake up to the importance of preschool education. Sex education in schools needs to be improved. The government is planning major reforms in the education system. There needs to be more money going into state education. We have a thriving continuing education department. Where did he go to for his secondary education? Will she go on to higher education?